Okay, so we actually continuing. As I said, the video course is broken down into 15 minutes to help you recover or capture kind of knowledge, okay, so that you can actually progress quicker and faster. Okay, so we're actually going to start. So follow up with me. Let's create a new project, okay? We're going to create a new file. Now, in web development, okay, we have what we call extensions. Extensions help the browser or the computer identify a file. That what kind of file am I dealing with? Is it being an executable file, or whatever, or a video file, or a music file? You get it? Now, anytime you see maybe hello.mp4, you know that it's either a video file or a music file. So in brief, it is a media file, right? Good. So HTML, that is a web document, which is a document of the website. A web document has an extension that is .html. Okay, it is used to identify that, oh, this is a web word document. So we're actually going to expand the day one project. Then we're going to click on new file. This is used to create new file. This is used to create new folder. This is used to refresh your Explorer. Okay, and this is used to collapse folders inside the Explorer. Okay, so I'm going to create a new file, and I'll call this file first project.html. For some reasons, as time goes on, we'll get to understand certain things, okay? But here, let me do it first project.html. So automatically, the HTML here is the extension. This helps to identify that this is a web document, okay? Very good. And the name of our project, the name of our file is what? First project. Good. So here we're going to actually type in the HTML code, okay? And then we're going to explain it. Okay, so anytime you actually get started with HTML, the question is, how do I start coding in HTML? Well, I always say this: HTML or web development, HTML, okay, has a version. HTML is a markup language, okay. It is HTML, okay. It is a markup language that stands for hypertext markup language, okay. It is a hypertext markup language. So basically, it is not a kind of programming language, but it is a markup language. We'll dive to understand what a markup language is in later videos, but it is just this is the full meaning: hypertext markup language, okay. And then when we talk about hypertext is more like link, okay. I remember back in primary schools and junior high schools, we learned about links, okay. Hyperlinks, hypertext, hyperlink, right? Good. So these are kind of hypertext, okay, kind of combined together to be viewed on the internet, okay. Good. So we use HTML in creating our website, okay. So I guess you're happy to join me to learn it. And languages come with versions, okay. So the current version of HTML that we're using is HTML5, okay. That is the current version. Before HTML5, there used to be XHTML, okay. XHTML, that stands for extensible markup language. Okay, extensible hypertext markup language. Sorry. So there are various. There were older ones, okay. That is HTML 1.0 and the rest, okay. So before we actually had access to HTML5, there was XHTML. So I got the chance to learn something about XHTML before HTML, right? because I actually started coding some kind of years backwards, and we use HTML in creating the structure of a website, the skeleton of a website. Okay, good. So let's start. Now you need to communicate to your browser. You need to tell your browser that a document is being created, and that kind of document that is being created is an HTML document. So how do you tell your browser? In simple short, we type this. Okay, so HTML deals with brackets, like symbols on the keyboard. So most of the symbols on the keyboard will be used here. Okay, so we are writing a code, an HTML code, and we are saying that we are actually alerting this exclamation mark is to alert that the document, this doc here represents doc. Okay, document. So the document type that we are actually going to create, so doc type. Okay, so the document type that we're going to create is what? HTML. So literally we are telling the browser that let me increase the view. Good. And let me actually squeeze this guy in. Good. So we are literally telling the computer or your browser, okay, that there's a document, and then the document type is HTML. Right? Good. So that is the first line of code you're going to do, and then the second line of code is HTML, like this. Now what this means is that the moment you alert your browser, you need to start creating the document, right? It's like you actually want to visit a friend, to take a friend out. You enter the house and you greet, okay, and you tell the father or the mother that, oh, you are in to take out a friend. So that is the alert here. You come in to alert them. When you are done, you need to go fetch your friend. You just don't stand there. You need to go fetch your friend, right? So good. So you start doing the process. So we type in HTML to alert the browser that, oh, we've started creating the document. Now there's one thing about HTML. The first principle you are supposed to know about HTML is that HTML deals with what we call tags. Okay, it deals with what we call tag. So for that reason, this is a tag. Okay, this whole thing is a tag. This is also a tag. Okay, the name here you see is an element. We call this an element. Okay, we call this HTML element, and then we call this the doc type element, whatever you call it. But this is an HTML element or a tag. Okay, good. Now every tag has an opening and a closing tag. Okay, so that is what you have to take note of. So let me make it of the so we have sorry, when you see, let's say, greater than and then tag name, content, then closing tag. So I'm trying to deduce how HTML is like. Okay, okay, so every HTML document actually contain this. Okay, this is the format. The format is here. If you look clearly, okay, you can see something here as a tag name. Good. But the beginning of the tag name, the whole of this, okay, if you can take closer look, you can see there's a difference between this and this, right? The difference is that this particular one has no backward slash, but this particular one has what? A backward slash. this, we call this an open what tag. We call this opening tag. My mouse is not really nice here. We call this what open tag, and then we call this what closing what tag. The reason why this is a closing tag is because it comes at the end of your content. Okay, whatever you want to display, you put your content here, and then it comes at the end. And another thing that shows is a closing tag is this. Okay, the backward slash. So the backward slash actually indicates that you've actually closed the tag. So the tag name here and the content here, I hope you get it. Good. So let's go back to our code. So since we have an HTML tag here, this is the tag name. HTML is the tag name, right? We need to close this. We don't close this. Okay, take note of this principle. We don't close the .type HTML. We don't close it. It is an exception. We don't close it. Okay, but we need to close HTML. So in order to close it, this is what we do: \HTML. All right. So we can see this is the open tag, and then this is the what closing tag, and then HTML. The name HTML here is the tag word name. Good. And then in between is what the content. Good. So the next thing we're going to do is we need to know the title of our website. Okay, when you open a website, I'm bringing up this here. You can see at the top here, okay, this is a website. This is a Gorginat website. If you look at the top here, you can see the name Gorginat, right? We need to tell the browser that this is the name of our website. In order to do that, we need to write a code. Okay, we need to write a code that will let this thing display. Okay, in order to do that, in between the HTML open and closing tag, we need to create another tag, okay, and call it head. So our head will also have a closing what tag, like this. Okay, so our head will also have a closing what tag. Always remember, whenever you open any tag, you have to close the tag. It is only this we don't close the tag. Okay, so please never close the tag for this. But you have to, when you open an HTML tag, you need to close it below. Now we have an open tag for the head. We need to close it. Now, if you look at our website very clearly, our Gorginat website very clearly, this is the heading, right? This is a kind of head where it contains the name of our website, the title of our website. So the same thing, we come here, sorry, inside here, and then we create another tag called title. Okay, good. So one thing about the Visual Studio Code IDE is autocomplete. When I say autocomplete, is when you start typing, it automatically closes your tag for you, like this. I just type title. Okay, the name of the tag I want to implement is called title, so I just type title. It comes like this. Okay, and I can click on this and it will actually complete it for me and put the cursor in the middle. Okay, or another method is I'll type title and I hit on tab and it will close. So it will open and then close the tag for me. Okay, so this is an opening tag and this is a closing tag. So in between here, in between the title is the name of my website. So the name of my website is going to be First Project. Okay, First Project. That is going to be the name of my website. I hope you get it. Good. Now, let's see if it is true. Now that we've been able to create this basic thing, let's go to our project and then open it in our browser. Okay, so let's go to our project folder. That is day one. Let's go into our project folder. So when we go into our project folder, you can see that our project is viewing in your default browser. Okay, my default browser is Chrome, so it's actually viewing in the icon is Chrome with the title here, firstproject.html. so this actually shows that this is a web document. So I'm actually going to double click to open, right? Good. So if you look at our website, this is our first website. If you look at it very clearly, you can see at the top it says first what project, first project. Good. First project. So this indicates that we've been able to create our title. Okay, we've been able to give a title or a name to our website. Okay, so these are an identifier. Like we had got Janat here, we have first project here. So let's go to the next lesson where we actually add other additional things to it. But before we in the next video, we're actually going to review again so that you actually keep in track. The videos are always 15 minutes, okay, so that I actually help you get enough knowledge.